here with Jump First. I'm going to bring this one really quickly because I got some other stuff that I got to do today, running around, all sorts of stuff. But I'm excited to bring this really quickly regarding your courses. It's a pro tip for your courses. It's going to be short and sweet. If you don't know what we do here, by the way, we talk all things premium courses, whether they be online or face-to-face, all right, how to package your knowledge, your wisdom, your life experiences into the format of courses, luxury coaching, and mentorship brands that you can then give to people to make impact around the world, because you're not supposed to stay local, you're supposed to be global. So let's talk about this really quickly. If you're creating your content before you sell your courses, if you're creating content first, you are hustling backwards, okay? And so I want to tell you real quick how we can avoid doing that, and let's get into it. All right, so I talk to lots of people from all over the place, all over the world on a daily basis, who some of which are telling me, some have no idea. Let's start there. Some have no idea how to create the course and are like, I just need help getting it done and packaged. Others come to me and they already have course content created. And they're like, I already have my course created. I just need this other piece. And it's like, we still have to take a second to make sure that the foundation is solid before we go. Because upon digging deeper, right, I find out that they don't have any brand recognition. They don't have a presence even on social media. If you're creating your course content now, I need you to put a pin in it, all right? Especially if you don't have a presence on social media. And this isn't to make a dig at anybody, it's really to help you move forward. If you don't have a presence on social media, if people do not know who you are, you can still sell your courses, you can still make impact. But the first things first, you need to start establishing expertise. First, you need to build out your authority, your trust, those sorts of things. It doesn't have to take a long time for you to do this before you make your first sale. But a lot of people are looking at bigger names. Like Alex Hormozi just had a launch, right, where he launched his book. I think it's $100 million Money Models, I think is what it's called. Of course, I'm going to get mine and go ahead and take a read. But many people are looking at that like, oh my God, he sold, I think, 150 million last time I checked in sales. Is one of the, and then he got the Guinness Book of World Records for the fastest selling nonfiction book, right? Which is amazing, and kudos to him. Congratulations to him. So many people are taking that and internalizing it and going, okay, well, I can just create this thing and then put it out there and people are gonna buy it. Please understand that this wasn't like just a weekend launch. This, just because we saw the launch happening in real time, we saw what it is that he was doing. It wasn't just a weekend launch. It was something that he has been building, the brand recognition, the offering of the value that he's providing. And know that I talk about a lot, pro tip for your courses, you don't have to give so much depth when it comes to the value, the free value that you're providing. However, it should be valuable. Okay, it shouldn't be surface level. It should be valuable. And there's a difference between providing free information, which there's a ton of it out there, and actually helping to solve a problem that your audience or your ideal dream customer may have or may be facing right now. And so you can do that through the value that you offer inside of your free content. And if you are not, or you are afraid to do that, that means that the content that you've already created for your courses, products, and services does not go deep enough. All right, so you can go deeper. There can be additional depth added there inside of your paid programs, but there should never be an issue with you being able to provide something of value. Not surface level, not shallow stuff, facts, information like most people are putting out here, but something that is going to help impact somebody else's life. That should be given for free. That's not something that we necessarily need to hide behind, again, because the paid stuff, your paid program, goes deeper to help somebody else achieve a deeper level of transformation. Okay, and so with the examples of other people that are putting things out and you're watching other people launch things that they have already created, please understand this is also not the first time, right? This isn't their first book. This isn't their first product. This isn't their first service. So this is what I mean. Like, sometimes we watch stuff happening in front of us, but we don't understand the behind the scenes. We don't understand what has led up to this moment. All right. Very, very important. So again, if you are creating the content for your courses, I need you to put a pin in it. If you already have have packaged the content for your courses, but you don't have any sales. All right. I need you to take an honest look at that and really figure out, okay, what do I need to put in place in order to achieve the goal? So hustling backwards means that you're putting in all the work, you're putting in all the effort, but you're not getting the results that you want. If your effort is not matching the results or the outcomes that you desire, then we got to take a hard look at the processes, the systems. What is it that you're actually doing in order to move yourself forward? And so a lot of times it's you're creating content, but you don't have your authority or expertise is not established. Like nobody knows who it is that you are. Again, you can make sales before you have 4 million followers. All right, that's possible, but you have to take the time to lay a solid foundation for your online courses, your premium courses. Get people like pre-sell, get peeps and seats. All right, pre-sell the course. It's gonna make your content so much easier. And when I say hustling backwards, like you've probably put in a lot of thought, a lot of work into creating the content, designing the content, and I totally get it. I've been there. But then there's this aspect of when you have people enrolled and you have people in that creative process with you, your content becomes that much more effective because now you know exactly where people are stuck, right? Where the biggest challenges and hurdles are, and you can create the content that actually helps move them forward. I'm not saying that the content that you've already created on your own isn't going to help somebody move forward, but you can pinpoint exactly what needs to be created based on the needs of your dream clients and students who are already enrolled in your program. So instead of hustling backwards and creating things 2 times or 3 times or having to do stuff over, just pre-sell your course, enroll your folks inside of your programs, have them create the content with you. It becomes more effective, it becomes more fun, and also the people who are enrolling your courses and programs feel more connected, right, to the depth of the value that you provide, to the transformation that they are going to gain through your programs. And so I needed to put this here because so many people are hustling backwards. And again, hustling backwards, the exact definition is literally you're doing work, you're putting in the effort, and you're not seeing a return. You're not getting the results. There is no return on that. So what use is it? I'm gonna put this here and say it with so much love. What use is it to have a content or to have a course created, to have all the content already created, but nobody to consume it? Nobody to go through your courses, nobody to actually get the result or the transformation that you are providing. Pre-sell your course, get your peeps and seats first, okay? Establish expertise, establish authority. Let people know what it is that you have to offer, and don't be afraid to give some of the free value that is required in order to establish expertise and authority. There's a way that you go about doing that, and it's not just throwing up information. If you want to learn more, go to jumpfirstacademy.org to see the exact process in less than 30 minutes, no fluff, and it is a free training for you to go through. There's resources to help you implement, free and paid. You determine your pathway to success. Also, while you're here, let me know inside of the chat where you are currently watching from or what time it is where you're watching from. I always like to see the global reach of these episodes, and if you're catching the replay, type it into the chat. Replay. If you're catching this live, know that I appreciate you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this morning. I know it's early. I got some things that I need to handle today, so I wanted to hop on and make sure that I got this out to help you move forward. Again, if you already have content created, don't feel bad. All right, it's just time to make sure that we have the proper foundation for selling the course. And if you're not getting results, because this is a conversation, I'll be very candid with you, that I have a lot of times with people who do come to me. I would say probably about 10% of the people I talk to about creating their courses already have content created. Again, I say this with so much love. What use is it to have the content created if you don't know how to make the sales? This is why you should invest in a mentor. You should invest in a coach. You should invest with someone who can help you move your sales piece forward. That's like one of the most important pieces if you want to make impact. It's not just about you making the money. It's about the impact. You want people to consume your course. You didn't create the content for no reason, okay? Also, please be okay and open with that content changing and taking shape the more you teach it, the more you make impact. So when your students enroll in your courses, don't be offended. Pro tip, because this was me, all right? I already had content created. I had all the stuff out there. And then people enrolled and they were like, yeah, we don't need that part. We need this part. And I was like, Okay, I got you. Right. So don't be offended if your content has to change. So a lot of times when people come to me and we start working together, it's yes, we're focused on pre-sales immediately, but then also as you enroll students, my job is to help you repackage that content into a format that is teachable for the people that you have enrolled. Okay. So again, get started at jumpfirstacademy.org with the free training. Check it out. It's 30 minutes or less, depending on how you go through it and flow through it. Resources there to implement. I want you to implement as you go through. This is not just you taking more information, consuming more information. So there are free resources and paid resources to help you implement. And then after the training, you have an opportunity to schedule a strategy session with me where we go deeper into how you can apply this to your specific business and course topic. All right. Again, jumpfirstacademy.org is where you go to get started. Also, I forgot to mention, I am teaching a live class this Thursday. I'm super excited about it. It is not a free class, which means that inside of that paid class, we are going deeper into the psychology behind your buyers, right? Your buyer personas, how to build those out, how to start pre-selling the courses, and how to actually package your content to make sure that it is effective going forward for the people who are enrolling, and not just the content, but also how to package your course overall. Because most people we're so adept to giving advice, right? Free advice. We've been doing it for a minute, and then we have this idea to create a course, and it's like, okay, I can just put the advice I've been giving into the course, and it's like, no, we need a framework for teaching it. And so I go deep into what should be the framework for your courses, how to package that up, how to pre-sell the courses, and then the psychology that is required for you to understand about your buyers and the people flowing into your courses, and so much more. You can check it out. The link is in the description. I won't say the entire link because I think it's like one of those long ones, but you can check it out. I put the link in the description. It is the Super Jewels workshop, and it's this Thursday. I'm super excited about it. Check it out. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all, and I hope you have an amazing day. I'll see y'all back here tomorrow. Bye, y'all.